Let me, in the time we have left, ask you to talk a little bit about domestic politics and how it plays into foreign policy, the theme you were just describing. Right now, there seems to be a basic question confronting Biden, which is whether he should continue to seek compromise, bipartisan solutions that bring in enough of the people who voted for Trump that he really feels he's bringing the country back together again, in the way he talked about during the campaign. He is a centrist man of the Senate, after all, or whether he should just um, go for it. Go to win. Use reconciliation to force through whatever legislation he can, and just hope and pray that on the other side of that, people will see that their lives are better, that these things worked out well. What's your gut instinct on that basic question? Because I think that's going to dominate the next few weeks and months of Biden's presidency at home.
I think I've come down very hard on the go for it side of the equation here, and not because I want to, Dave. Like I've become, I think, seen as, not that people think that much about me, but if they do, like, I think I'm probably seen as a pretty partisan guy. That I My first boss in D.C. was Lee Hamilton, the very centrist Indiana congressman. Um, I I wrote speeches for Barack Obama throughout that 2007 campaign about coming together, red states and blue states. I cannot ignore, and that's a big part of what After the Fall is about. We cannot ignore over a decade of an increasing radicalization in the Republican Party in this country that is a part, deeply connected to, and a part of a global trend of a turn to nationalism and authoritarianism, and a particular flavor of that on the right, and I'd say far right. You have 8 years of the Obama years. Is there a single thing that suggests that there will be anything of consequence that can achieve 60 votes in the United States Senate? I mean, maybe like essentially a highway bill, but like, given the scale of the problems that we face, the idea of continuing to give a veto to people who've acted in such bad faith, who can't even condemn in unambiguous terms an armed insurrection that attempted to overthrow American democracy. I mean, I sometimes like I remain incredulous that this is even that there's even an effort to kind of think that the normal rules apply in terms of negotiating things. How can you negotiate with people that literally don't even want to investigate why their own workplace was overrun by a mob of pro-Trump supporters? I mean, like, we just sometimes, and again, this is really useful in writing this book. If we looked at that as if it was another country, like, how would we describe the Republican Party if it was one of the major parties in some European country?
So,
Like,
you,
so my point is, I think Joe Biden has to try to get as much done as he possibly can in the window that he can get things done, knowing he might lose the House of Representatives. I think that the appeal to the Obama Trump voters and the middle of the road folks is Joe Biden. It's not bipartisanship. It's the fact that Joe Biden is a centrist. It's the fact that Joe Biden has a moderate disposition. The fact that Joe Biden can speak to people in the upper Midwest who've been left behind and don't feel represented in politics. I don't think those people are demanding that Joe Biden do a smaller infrastructure bill that can get the support of 10 Republicans. I think those people just like Joe Biden, and they prefer Joe Biden to what they see as the more left-wing elements of the Democratic Party. And I think so I wouldn't suggest that Joe Biden become some uber leftist, but I would suggest that he do as much as he possibly can in this 2-year period, which may be the only 2-year period when he can do anything, given the way in which the House is going to favor the Republicans after redistricting.